who has led every lap from pole. Big spin across the track.
Speed turn. What happened? He just lost it there.
On board with our wonderful thermal shot. Look at this. It's like a video game.
Oh, big lock up there. Liquid rubber everywhere. Yeah.
Are absolutely together on this first lap.
This is the challenge.
As they stream around, was very, very full indeed. Dive through on the inside. He's going for it, and he's done it. He's done it. He hasn't. My goodness, he hasn't. Wow.
A great sporting rivalry, and look at this. Oh, wow.
There's a terrific scrap now.
This could all end up in a very large pile of fiberglass.
Tries again at exactly the same point. Really, better be careful because he's signalling his intentions now to the leader, who will be very careful to shut the door in advance.
Down hard, coming down hard.
Spinning off of turn 4 right now, 3 cars. One of them's going to be in the gravel. MD2 of Jason Dixon takes over the top of the top. Peter Bird is going to try to slot in second. Papers side by side. Turn number 1, great racing here. On the front straight they come, nose to tail. Bird getting around, but he's going to be just about a half a car length shot.
Turn up the volume. Enjoy the start. There's the green flag. Here we go. Look at this. Oh!
Pretty wide. He backs off.
Yikes. Yikes is right.
It goes right around the outside of
Nicely friendly pass.
Well, watch Peter Burke in that Formula Enterprise.
The field has come set. Turn up the volume and get ready for the start. Let's go!
And it's Wings and Things making its way out onto the track for race group number 4. We have 16 cars on the grid outside of row 8. Second in Club Formula Continental is car number 21, Steve Demeter from the Western Ohio region in his citation. Next to him, third in Club Continental, the 07 of Craig Campbell from the Indy region in a Van Diemen.
The pace car is really slow here for some reason.
The only P1 car in the field starts outside of row 7. That's the 44 of Craig Walco from the Central Florida region in a Toyota. Next to him is the second place car in Formula X. That's the 8 of Thomas Metcalf from the OVR in a Formula Mazda. In row 6, fifth in Formula Continental is the 72 of Jeremy Swank from the OVR in his Van Diemen. Second in Club Continental is car 71, Rex Gunning from the Western Ohio region in another Van Diemen. In row 5 on the outside, fourth in Formula Continental, the 12 of Daniel Khalifa from the Erie, Pennsylvania region in Mazda USF 2000. And the pole sitter in Club Continental starts next to him. That's car number 3, Steve Myers from Detroit in a Renard. In row 4 on the outside, fourth in Formula Enterprises 2, number 70, John Wapham, MD from the Detroit region. Next to him is the Formula X pole sitter, the 89 of Denny Sederi from the Ohio Valley region in his Griffith GR93. In row 3 on the outside, third in Formula Continental is car 5, Trevor Williams from the Detroit region in an Elan DP08. Second in Continental is car 4, Kevin Fandozzi from the Detroit region in a Mygale. In row 2 on the outside is the Formula Continental pole sitter, car 45, Chuck Moran from the Old Dominion region in a Crosley 71F. And next to him is the third place runner in Formula Enterprises 2, the 37 of Amy Hollowell from the Indianapolis region in a Formula Enterprises 2, of course. The front two, both from Formula Enterprises. On the outside is the 95 of Peter Burke from the Detroit region. And the pole sitter is the number 77 of Vaughn Mishko from the Land O'Lakes region.
Pace car by me with the field in tow. Single file as they go by us here in the S's, but down in Thunder Valley is when they will form up 2 by 2. And this one looks to be a pretty good one at the front. A lot of
Get going.
good drivers up there in the FE2 class and Formula Continental. So looking forward to that. Lights out in the pace car.
Alright, lights out in the safety car, Saturday, Mid-Ohio. Here we go.
Field coming into the carousel turn. Pace car peels off into pit lane. Vaughn Mishko and Peter Burke bring the field around. As we wait for the green flag, and there it is. Jumping up from the second row, the 37 of Amy Hollowell, trying to make it 3 wide going into turn number 1, but Vaughn Mishko's going to hang on. Amy's going to take second spot. Peter Burke will slot into third as everybody gets through turn 1. As the field works its way through the chicane. But a good jump from our pole sitter, Von Mischko, as he's got a pretty healthy lead already as they head up into the keyhole for the first time. Off the keyhole they come. Mischko with a big lead. Great battle for second and third, however. But Mischko is taking off like a scalded cat here with a pretty healthy advantage after just half a lap, Rusty.
Into my view now, yeah, I was going to say it was the second before I even saw the second place car. So as he comes by, there is the 37 of Hollowell still in that second spot, but being challenged pretty hard by Peter Burke. Then a good move from behind one of the Continental cars, but Chuck Moran is still right there, so we'll keep an eye on that. But Mischko with a big jump out front. Hollowell and Burke, though, close together, back about a second or so behind Mischko.
Top three, all from Formula Enterprises, too. Chuck Moran in the Continental number 45, we believe they're in the fourth spot as the field comes through the carousel turn, but Mischko very much gone at the front. It's actually Denny Sederi up in the fourth spot in the number 89 Formula X Griffith. Then Chuck Moran in the 45, behind him in the lead Formula Continental.
I'm right behind you.
Trevor Williams and Kevin Fandozzi just behind him. That's a three-way battle for the lead in Formula Continental for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Steve Myers in the only Club Continental in the 8th spot. Daniel Khalifa running 4th in Continental, and Rex Gunning running 2nd in Club Continental. Round out the top 10 after one flying lap.
Butt, right on your butt.
By me continues to pull away just a little bit, but now Sederi and looks like Peter Burke doing some battle. Sederi up now into third, gets around Peter Burke, so that Formula X machine gets the job done at the top end of the straightaway, and now looks to the rear wing of Amy Hollowell just in front. So Denny Sederi trying to move his way towards the front, but Mischko just driving away here at the front of the field.
Mischko resets fast lap of the race at a 27.3, considering that he qualified the car at a 33.5. I mean, he is way faster. Amy Hollowell in second, her best lap at 31.4, so Mischko already with an 8.5 second lead after just 2 laps. Denny Sederi up to third, as Rusty said, in that Formula X. Griffith. Peter Burke now back to third, or fourth overall, third in FE2. With Chuck Moran still leading Formula Continental over Trevor Williams and Kevin Fandozzi.
Leader by me already. Now Amy Hollowell comes by with her FE2. Still a pretty good gap back to Denny Sederi in that Formula X, and Peter Burke in that FE2 machine as he goes by. Lost ground, so Peter Burke not able to maintain the pace of Hollowell and Sederi, and continues to lose a little bit of ground, but Mischko really driving hard and putting in some big lap times.
Left 4.
Copy that.
Trevor Williams and Kevin Fandozzi having a great battle for 6th and 7th. That's for 2nd and 3rd in Formula Continental. Fandozzi making that pass going into turn number 1, I believe. We'll sort that as they come back by.
Steve Demeter drives off the track here at the top of the hill, spins it and comes back on track, is able to continue, but drug a whole bunch of grass up onto the racing surface right at the apex of 6. So we've got a debris flag out as cars putting a lap on Craig Walco in that T2 machine as they go by. I see Amy Hollowell got held up a little bit there, and Sederi did not, so Sederi is definitely closer to Amy Hollowell this time. We'll catch the gap here when they come by the finish line.
Our leader, Von Mishko, has already caught up with the back of the pack, as the 21 of Steve Demeter, who had that off-course excursion there in front of Rusty, with his rain light flashing, goes a lap down. Amy Hollowell in the second spot. Denny Sederi right behind him in that Super V Griffith, number 89.
Have traffic ahead. Gonna have traffic ahead.
The charge goes by Hollowell at the top end of the straightaway. A lot of top end speed out of that Formula X, that Super V car. Gets a little squirrely there over the top of the hill here at 5 and kicks the tail out, but Hollowell backs off. Just like the look of that, and they're not in the same class, so she's going to let that car go by. So a new second place car is Sederi, but Hollowell still second in the FE2 class.
Mishko resets fast lap of the race at a 26.5. My goodness, that's 7 seconds faster than he qualified. Yes, Mishko just flying at the front here. And you're right, the Super V, number 89 of Denny Sederi up into second spot, leading Formula X. Amy Hollowell and Peter Burke battling for second and third in FE2. The 4 Formula Continentals all running in a bunch. Chuck Moran, Trevor Williams, Kevin Fandozzi, and Jeremy Swank. Rex Gunning in the Club Continental, number 71, just now comes by, as he's the leader in that class now. And Steve Myers in the 3, not yet by our vantage point. Cars coming down the pit lane, so issues. And one of them is Jeremy Swank in the number 72, as well as the 3 of Steve Myers, so both of them retiring here early.
Peter Burke closing up a little bit on Hollowell, it would appear, on this last lap. And looking at the lap times, yeah, almost a second faster that last lap. But had a little bit of trouble getting around Craig Walco, and that's what held her lap time up. We'll get a better idea this time when they come by.
Denny Sederi coming through the carousel turn onto the front straightaway. Stretching his advantage now over the battle behind. But yeah, Amy with Peter Burke right on her rear wing. Maybe 3 car lengths separating those two.
I have slower traffic ahead.
For the Continental battle. No changes there. It's still Moran, Williams, and Fandozzi. As we're into the second half of this one, Rex Gunning comes by in that multicolored number 71, Club Continental leader. Then Galifa running 4th in Formula Continental. Now we're in the 9th position.
So I just took a quick look there, John, and right now Von Mishko is about 1/10 of a second faster than the lap record here for FE2. It looked like he was turning those kind of laps, and based on the lap record, he is a little bit faster than the lap record held by Jim Lebecco. So good times out there for Mishko. That 126.5, it looked fast, and it was.
Lap 8, Trevor is
Mishko comes by now, lapping up through the field, getting ready to put another lap on Steve Demeter as he moves wide out of the way, but Mishko still driving the car hard, haven't even seen the second place car. There he is, so more than the S's between himself and Suderi. Watching now to see if Peter Burke is able to close up on Amy Hollowell. Not so far, as she was a little quicker than he was on that last lap. So far that appears to be pretty stationary.
Ron Mishko continuing to lap in the mid-126s as he's got more traffic in front of him now. As Craig Campbell in the Club Continental number 07 about to go a lap down. As Denny Suderi running in second, working his way by some traffic as he puts the 70 of John Wapham down a lap. Amy Hollowell stretching her advantage over Peter Burke now as she sets a personal best at a 30.2. Burke's last lap was a 30.9. And there's been a change in the Continental lead as Trevor Williams takes over the top spot from Chuck Moran. So Williams now up into 5th overall and the lead in from the Continental. Chuck Moran second, Kevin Vendozzi third. As we're working race lap number 9.
Already by Mishko. There is Suderi as he pops into view. Amy Hollowell getting by a little bit more lap traffic at the top end of the straightaway. That would be the number 70 that she just got around, the John Wapham. Peter Burke now trying to get around Wapham to continue to see if he can make any inroads in that gap between himself and Hollowell, but so far not able to get that done.
Mishko and Denny Suderi by. There is Amy Hollowell. Now pretty much matching the pace of Denny Suderi. Suderi's last lap was a 29.6. Amy's last lap was her best at a 29.7. So she's only 3 seconds behind. If Suderi bobbles even a little bit, she might have a chance at second overall. It won't affect her class position. She's still hanging on to second amongst the FE2s. Race lap number 10.
Suderi goes by, Amy Hollowell, Peter Burke not quite able to match that pace of Hollowell, so he is not making up any ground right now in the race for FE2, but it's Mishko at the point, Hollowell second in FE2, Peter Burke third in FE2, Suderi all alone in that FX class. I guess there's one other car, Thomas Metcalf is also showing as an FX class car.
Trouble for Daniel Galifa is in the number 12 Formula Continental as he retires to the paddock from 9th position. Steve Demeter also in the Club Continental number 21, also retiring to the paddock. second, third, and fourth pretty much spread out now. Not much challenge amongst those.
11, more to go. This one and one more.
Sideri, Holloway, and Burke, respectively. Chuck Moran has retaken the
Clear
top
behind
spot
you,
in
no
front of the
problem.
Continental as we've got a slow-moving car here. I think that's the
Well, I
guy,
don't know
Trevor
where he is. I don't know if
Williams,
he's off
who was
or
the
back.
leader in front of the Continental. As he pulls off at the pit exit, as the car was pretty much dead stick down the front straightaway here. And he is pulled off the racing surface right at the pit exit, and safety worker on the way to him to make sure everything's okay, but that car has expired here.
Leaders by. No real change. The gas all looks to be pretty consistent. Looking at the lap times, it's about what we'd expect out there.
Working last lap.
Got one that was off at the top end of the straightaway, but comes back on, and that would be the 45 machine of Chuck Moran. That would be now your Formula Continental leader, as he got it wide and went off track. He may have lost the spot, John. We'll have to keep an eye on that Formula Continental run here this time by.
Yeah, Fandozzi wasn't that far behind him as they crossed the line, as we're on the final lap. As Von Bushko has seen the white flag, as has Dennis Severi. There's Amy Hollowell as she resets her personal best at a 29 flat. And she's closing down on Severi, but she's about 2.5 seconds back, so don't know if she can make any difference here on the final lap. Kevin Fandozzi is now the former Continental leader as he got around Chuck Moran. So Moran back to 6th, as Rusty mentioned, after that sprint in front of him.
Leader already by, John. He'll be seeing the checker about the time we see the battle for second here in front of me.
Checker flag is out.
So there he goes by. Gets held up a little bit. Hollowell not too far behind. Then Peter Burke. So we'll throw it back to you as the checker's probably coming out.
Still waiting on him to make his way up out of Thunder Valley. Mishko has already come by and taken the checkered flag to take the win. Denny Sideri just now coming onto the front straightaway. Actually, Sideri got passed on the final lap as Amy Hollowell was able to get up into second. Sideri fading to third overall, still winning Formula X. Peter Burke comes across the line to take third place honors in Formula Enterprises 2. We're waiting on Fandozzi, who we believe will take the win in Formula Continental. He does. There's the 45 of Chuck Moran, who led Continental for much of this race. He has to settle for second as that engine sounds a little off song as he comes by our vantage point. Rex Gunning in the 71 should be our Club Continental winner, and he is, as he comes across the line. Craig Campbell with the 07, I believe, has already seen the checkers. He was a lap down. So just to recap the class winners, Dennis Sideri taking the win in Formula X over Thomas Metcalf in the 8 car. In FE2, it was Mishko, Hollowell, and Burke in that order. We've talked about that pretty much all race long. In Club Continental, Rex Gunning taking the win over Craig Campbell, Steve Demeter finishing third. And in Formula Continental, Kevin Fandozzi, your winner over Chuck Moran and Trevor Williams.